Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another super cool radio interview. I'm your host, Matthew Thomas. Thank you so much for tuning in. I have a great guest who I'm excited to have on the podcast. On May 27th, Switzerland-based DarkFlow released their latest album entitled Imminent End. Please welcome from DarkFlow, Shauna O'Donnell.
Hello, everybody. How are you?
As I said, I'm excited to chat with you because I've been checking out DarkFlow and everything you guys have been up to. So I'm very excited to be chatting with you right now.
Well, that's really interesting. Let me give me some insights. What do you think about what we do?
So it's definitely I mostly lean I listen to rock and metal and stuff, but with you guys, it feels very different, and it feels just more intense with some of the themes and the music.
We had launched an EP, which was called Six, which is our first work, and it was something about the concept is people who I loved who died. Then we did Insane Circus, which is an album about my own mortality because I'm sick as fuck. And I have this stupid, I don't know if deadly or not, because a lot of doctors have told me a lot of things, like terminal disease and big words going on, and I'm still alive, so I'm here. And then I said to myself, well, we have to do an album really fastly now, because I don't know how much time I got yet. So let's do something that it's the end of the world. Let's call it Imminent End. And we recorded that and we produced that from A to Z with Andy Rock from King Diamond. And that's what it is. The concept is really, really strong. In fact, if you saw what happened past 2 weeks with this Iranian-Israeli shit going on, it was like, oh, my album is coming to reality. And it wasn't. Fucking Americans help them.
It's definitely, with Imminent End, it's very how I want to say this. It's definitely coming to fruition with some of it, and it's kind of very much reality based with, and that's kind of what I like about it, especially that kind of theme, is because we're kind of experiencing that right now with everything going on. So it matches very well.
Well, the thing is that we're in the edge. If you see what is going on in the news, what is going on in the world, all the people, all the major politics people, all the world leaders are discussing now, and now this new big bill shit that Trump put on the states and everything. Everything is getting mesmerized, everything is getting a little bit destroyed, and people, which is society, is not accepting what's going on, and the countries besides society, country to country, I don't know, Russia with the States, are not getting in good accords. And you have China, you have Iraq, you have Afghanistan, you have Iran, you have all these other countries fucking everything up, and nobody's trying to stop the imminent figure that could happen, that it's the end of everything, because one who starts something, it makes immediately everybody come inside. So what's gonna happen? The thing is that in the album, I say in the first song, we live among misery. There's an intro called Breaking News that is the resume of the album, the resume, sorry. And then you have a song called A Colossal End, which is about a great tsunami that comes out of nowhere. Normally it's because I heard once a menace done by Putin to England saying, I'm going to destroy England in a second. And they say, how you can do that? I just throw an hydrogen bomb in the sea and you are done. And it was like, ooh, oh, that's fun. That's fun to see. That could be something mysterious to take, because people wouldn't understand what was going on. Like a huge wave coming from out of nowhere because somebody put a bomb 100 kilometers far away from them. They didn't hear nothing. They didn't saw nothing, but just they have the result of a fucking wave that is going to destroy the whole country. And it was like, okay, I want something like that, but I go further and I say it's a whole continent and all that stuff. And then, well, of course, everything goes from bad to worse, and then nuclear big war everywhere, nuclear warfare going crazy all around the world.
The music in this album is definitely a reflection of the times that we're currently living in right now, which is kind of cool because, like, obviously with like music, it should reflect like what is going on in society, and I think you did that very well with the new album.
Well, the thing is that I am somebody who really likes to read what's going on in the history. I like to read a lot what's going on now in this moment, and I like to see what mistakes humanity had made before, which are making again. So we can learn, I can learn from the mistakes, but the whole humanity doesn't learn anything about it. Why? Because people as individuals are intelligent, but in plurality, people are stupid. It's like, oh yeah, we have to vote for this guy or for this guy, and we have to follow this lead. And oh yeah, Iran is attacking Tel Aviv. That's fucking cool. For whom? For whom? Okay, well, I don't like Zionist things going on, and I don't like getting political and all that stuff, because we're not a political band. Not at all. It's only I am putting there what's going on and what could happen, because we live, as I said before, in the edge. We have climate problems that everybody's trying to deny, but it's not something to deny. We can see that people are moving now. People are moving from places that they could live, and now they can't live anymore. Why? Because there's no more food, there's no more water, there's no more anything to grow up there. The soil is too dry, things like that, And then you see that people, if they need to move, what is going to happen? And then you are going to have a huge quantity of immigration. The quantity of immigration, what brings? Well, people not being happy. What happens with that? People not being happy, economical problems, true, also, of course. And people start taking the right side of the politics, being more righty. Like, I don't want these guys taking my jobs, taking my life, taking my homes, bringing their cultures to my country and all that stuff. And then the thing starts, the shit start hitting the fan. And that's how I try to see things, and I put it in the album. I put everything in the album, even if in the slightest way it's said.
Oh, definitely, for sure. And I think kind of going along with that. So I'm curious for you and DarkFlow, for this album. So how was it writing and recording this album?
Well, this album was really extremely hard for me to write, because I've been with a lot of health issues, and I said to my founder of the band, if he could take care of doing the music, I will tell him what I want to speak song by song, so he can imagine in his head what I am trying to explain song by song. I sent him a pre-lyrics for each song, and then he writes the song, he makes the music, and then I write the lyrics and the voice. I put it, and I write my lyrical voice, my lyrical lines and the melodies and everything, just to make this horror theme more credible and more oh well, this guy is kind of a little sick and bastard, getting a laugh from humanity of all what is going on. Well, that's what Sean horror is. In fact, what I created in this album is the general from hell. So the guy, it's a devilish person who doesn't give a fuck about humanity. He just wants to bring everybody to hell.
I really like the concept of that, because it's very strong with that, and I like that it's something different than some of the other music out there, or even just society. People try to not try to avoid hell, and Sean Horror is the one I know I want to take you to hell kind of thing, and I do very much enjoy that.
Well, the thing that is funny is that in this album, people, it's like, oh yeah, I really like this album, but when they read the lyric, it's like, oh man, oh dude, are you okay, man? It's like, what's going on? What's happened? Like, what's wrong with you? It's like, nothing. This is happening. I am not. I'm putting myself in the board, saying I'm going to. I want to kill everyone, but it's not me. It can be Putin. It can be Trump. It can be any world leader. If I didn't want to just point the finger to somebody, but I just said to okay, if it's not them, I'm going to put myself in it, and I'm going to say that it's the general from hell going to kill humanity. But what I'm talking in this album is going to happen. This is not like an album. I didn't wrote this album because I said to myself, yeah, I want to make something special and something futuristical or whatever. No, I'm talking about something that is in the present that can happen, and that's why we call it like the prophecy of DarkFlow. And it's kind of fun, but in the end, most of the bands try to avoid those kind of themes because people get really distressed when they hear this kind of thing. But I am a shock rocker, so what I want to do is shock people, and I don't think there is nothing else to say in shock rock more than the reality of what we live, because we live in a reality that is really extremely sensitive. And normally, well, you have Alice Cooper talking about dead babies, or I don't know, you have King Diamond talking about a haunted house or whatever the fuck, or and you have this kind of other shock rockers doing things that are more okay, more cruel but more fantastical, And I am not that kind of guy. I like to treat things with reality, like say to the people what's going on. Like I said, did in Insane Circus, I told the truth about my sickness. Like I'm doing here in Imminent End, I'm telling the truth about what's going on in the world. And I am not lying in anything. I am not going to start. It's not even a speculation. As I'm telling you, as I told you before, 10 days ago, we were in the amidst of the beginning of World War III. And that can happen again and again and again. And sometimes, or one day, we won't be there, or the states won't be there to stop it, maybe even to begin it. So that's a problem. You have to see what's going on. The conclusion of it's what's the history is dictating in this moment. And I am here just to share information that people should be like, well, this is not thrilling, but this could happen.
Definitely, it's definitely grounded in reality, which sometimes that's like people's biggest fears is the reality that we're currently living in, which is very cool and again reflected in the music. So like I'm kind of curious. So like writing Imminent End, was it a different experience? Like writing and recording it, was it a different experience compared to like previous music and previous albums?
Well, technically, yes. Of course, it was different because we all went to Sweden to record the album with Andy LaRock. So it was the first time I was going to like this big fancy studio, work with somebody who has a real name and stuff and all that shit. And it was like, oh yeah, well, this is really cool. It doesn't matter who you work with. I can record another album in my house and it would be the same. You just need good PR and people who likes what you're doing, and you have to be just a good musician. And I don't think we are good musicians, and I wouldn't say that. I think that we are just musicians who likes to talk about reality, who likes to talk about gloomy things. We are called DarkFlow, not BrightFlow. So of course I'm not going to say, yeah, everybody's happy, heaven is opening, and Mr. God is coming here to save us all, and Jesus Christ is coming back again, and shit and all that. And therefore, I prefer going to the gloom side. Why? Because it's dark, it's scary, and I think treating reality and not going completely into a conceptual album that is science fiction 100%, it's like, okay, well, it's another spooky story. It's like watching a horror film. No, I think I'm more scared of watching the news than a horror film.
Definitely, with what's going on right now, like Like you can't like make this up. You'll make this stuff up for like a movie because it just like it just so like out there and sometimes outrageous. Even just like the actual news, it's just like you can't make this up. Just because this is the reality that we're living in.
The thing is that movies have always been talking since the 80s about the end of the world. Then they stopped in the 90s and the year 2000s with the new metal thing and all that shit, Limp Bizkit and all that crap. And then I come back with this theory about the end of the world again, because in the 80s a lot of bands were making music about the end of the world and justice for all. There's going to be like a huge, I don't know, sublimation of population and try to make take over the governments and stuff. A lot of punk metal bands were doing that, thrash metal, in fact, and somehow they stopped, and then everything went really real and dark. And these last years after COVID came, it was like, yeah, that smoke screen is not gonna play with me, because for me COVID was a fucking smoke screen. And then you see what's going on. You see what's happening. You see how the democracy is not functioning. You see how people are not at all happy in the world, not even in the States, but in the world. I live in fucking Switzerland, and here in Switzerland, people are pissed off. Like in the country where people are the more safest in the world, they're not feeling safe. So imagine that. People are scared because they are living in a world that could collapse in a second. And that's what I wanted to tell to people. It's that we are just in the fucking edge and we can collapse in a fucking second. And that's a reality. It's not something that I'm trying to invent. Sorry. I don't, something that I would like to science fictionize completely. Of course, I put a little bit of science fiction because I put my character in the first line, like, okay, I am going to be the one who destroys the world. But it's only because I didn't want to point any fingers, as I told you. But the thing that is important to understand in this album is that somebody is going to press that red button and we're all fucked.
Oh, for sure, for sure. So now I kind of got a few more things I did want to hit on first before we head out. So I'm kind of curious for you, obviously. So like we talked about like the writing and recording side we talked about, but I'm kind of curious. So do you approach like recording music differently than performing live?
Well, for me, recording is really different experiences than live. When you do a concert, you are showing presentation of what you did in an album. People think that the real music comes from live. I think different. I think we have the resources to make sound really well, to make it more interesting, have more deeper things, adding more voices to the mix, giving like a global sound that is really a genuine, unique experience. And when you're on live, you're just with the band and some samplers and a click, and play well, man. If not, you're going to suck. And the thing is that even if you play well, the music is not 100% as it is in the album. So the album is the first expression of your music. Then comes the live. Live is show. Show is spectacle, things that I do, because we don't give shows that are like us standing up and just me singing on a microphone. No, I put a fucking makeup. I have my costume and everything, and I have my stand where I can sing to the people and talk to the people as I am a general, a dictator, bringing themselves the fear that that's going to happen. Well, I come from Chile, so I know one thing or two about dictators. So that's the thing. And also the other thing that is important here is to know that every power that comes from any place on earth comes from the army. It's not the people. Underground bases, all the warfare that they can share to the world if they want. And that could be really interesting to see. I don't want to produce or to tell people, hey man, be scared forever in your life. It's like just have an open eye.
Oh, for sure. I think it's definitely obviously reflected in obviously the music, but also like I obviously have seen kind of some photos and stuff of you like in your full like makeup and everything you wear, and I like the aesthetic of it because obviously it matches very well with the music, but also it just looks very cool. I like all the makeup and stuff. Like obviously I'm a huge like Alice Cooper fan, so like any like kind of the stage performance and stuff I think is it's just so cool, and I really like that aspect of like a live performance.
But it's really important to have a stage performance in these days. Even bands that don't play really like performally well on stage, like Metallica, Slayer, or other bands, they're just going to make trash music, but there's something happening on stage. You have lights, you have things, But I want more. I like theater, I like to mix theater with music. If not, it's like you're just playing, and it's like kind of boring. And I don't want to do boring things. I just want to make people like, even if you don't like the music, you say, "Oh wow, it was a fucking great show."
Like obviously with the theater aspect of it, it's especially if you match it well with the music, that it tells a story that like it's visual and you can hear it, and I really like the combination of that.
Well, that's a thing that I also worked a lot is that I like people to listen to my music and imagine themselves a lot of things, like a lot of visual things going on. So when they go to a live show, they're going to be happy. Why? Because I am bringing them that. I am bringing that show. I'm telling that story. I'm telling them what's going on in the song, and I am giving life to it. And that's really interesting because it's scary as fuck. And that's what I want to do. I don't want to be a copycat of another shock rock act. I want something, I want to create something new. I wanted to create something new, and I think we did it. I don't know if we're going to go far with it, but we did it. We did something interesting. We did something that it's there and people can hear it. And I hope people that is hearing the cool radio show,
Super cool radio.
super cool radio show. So people who are hearing this, hey guys, go and listen to DarkFlow. We only have one album on Spotify in this moment, but I am going to relaunch the other one soon. It was a marketing idea, just to make people concentrate in one and then open everything again to everybody. It's just a little thing. When you're a little band, you have to just do what you can.
We're in July of this year right now, so I'm curious for you, what are the plans for DarkFlow for the rest of 2025?
Well, first of all, I had to get in shape. That's first. The thing is, now I am trying to book us for the end of the year because I have some surgeries and I have another surgery coming, and I can't be dealing with too many health issues at the same time while doing shows. So I am going to start booking us for November, December, and I will think that 2026 is going to be the year that we're going to be touring everywhere. And I'm going to start. We have 3 albums, so 2 albums and 1 EP, and I think that we can defend ourselves with that until at least 2027 or 2028 if nothing goes wrong in the world and we're all still alive.
Well, so like have some great plans, and we'll just have to see what happens with everything. But so for everyone watching, where are the best places to find DarkFlow online?
Well, it depends what do you want, because you can find everything we have on Bandcamp. You can buy it. It's not really expensive. It's just cost a little bit, dude. For $9, you can help us live a little bit. And if not, you can just find Imminent End on Spotify, or you can find us in I think in every streaming service. I think we're everywhere. I don't know. I think it's my manager. Let me see. Yeah, we're everywhere. So it's everything well. So yeah, people can find us everywhere they want. We have our website that is darkflow.ch, ch for Switzerland. You can be also in contact with DarkFlow And that's a really important thing for me to say, is that if you ever want to send me an email, I will answer you. I answer always to the fans. And if you like our music, I will really be happy with. And if you have some feedbacks or you want to say that we suck, I will also be really, 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 really a fucktard with you. And I'm going to tell you why we do the music that we do. And who knows? No, I am going to be polite. I'll try to.
Well, if people want to find out, they can.
Yeah.
But I will leave some links for DarkFlow in the description of this podcast. Please check out and support them, connect with them as well. But Sean, thank you so much for stopping by the podcast. I had a great time chatting with you.
Well, thank you very much. It was, 28 minutes. It was for me like a second.
Very good for me as well. For Sean Horror of DarkFlow, I'm your host always, Matthew Thomas. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Super Cool Radio. And remember, stay frosty.
Hell yeah.